Hola, amigos. Mike and Jess here.
Welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. I wish I knew that in Spanish. I feel left out now. Today we're reacting to a video titled "One of the Most Decorated Players in Super League History, Rob Burrow, the Magnificent Seven."
Sorry to start it off so jovial, okay? I was a little tropical. I don't know. I feel like speaking some Spanish this morning. Okay, the couple words that I know. That's literally all.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's playful.
And it has no context within this video at all, so I don't know. We've got the link for this original video and Sky Sports channel where this comes from down below. Go check them out. The only time I've ever heard of Sky Sports is from the chants, the football chants video we did.
Oh.
It wasn't nice things. So,
that's a good introduction to
like, subscribe to Sky Sports. Yeah, right. It's crazy because Watch Mojo UK has more subscribers than them and you guys hate them. So I don't know. I don't know what to take from this low subscriber count on the Sky Sports here. Anyways, we've got links for their channel down below. Do what you will with those. And yeah, let's get into this. This was highly requested. It didn't win a poll, but it came in third and a lot of people were like really bummed out. So we were looking for something to react to today. And yeah, we went with this.
Yep.
So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Champion.
Burrow! Oh!
Look how small he is.
Unstoppable.
He's so
Selfless.
freaking fast.
Burrow going for the line. He's done it again.
Yeah, like instantly you could see a huge size difference in this
Comparison
guy.
to the other guys chasing him, but he is so much faster than them. Holy moly.
Instantly, we live in Jacksonville, Florida, home of the Jaguars, the NFL team, and there was a player, Maurice Jones-Drew, back in the day. Really, really short guy, but every time he got his hands on the ball, man, he was a great running back.
Yeah.
Pulled off some great runs, and it just instantly, like, it's really cool to see somebody who is that much, I mean, I don't want to say disadvantaged, but I mean, these guys are huge.
There's
dude.
a huge size difference.
With your height, also like a weight disadvantage, I would feel like.
Yeah.
But man, and they get out there and do it in spite of that. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Brave. A winner.
Relentless.
Inspirational. Idol.
Magic.
Hero.
Rule changing.
This king is all talent.
Robert Jeffrey Burrow is a Rugby League legend. 8-time Grand Final winner, 3-time World Club Challenge winner, and he's lifted the Challenge Cup twice. He's one of the most successful players of his generation. Rob now faces his toughest battle as he fights Motor Neurone Disease. This is the story of his career.
Oh,
Man.
I was 14 and he was 12, and the smallest guy by a mile, but the fastest thing he'd ever seen. Very, very quiet at that time. But as we started to come through together, when Rob started 16, 17, I was 18 and 19, you start to forge a really good friendship.
Our careers, mirrored each other. It was so strange how it panned out. I played at East Leeds. We played against Castleford Panthers at the time, and I remember this little genius running round. We ended up representing Yorkshire that year together. What I remember is I was small as well. Rob was obviously, really small, and I remember standing next to him in the team photo and being proud that I was actually bigger than somebody.
One of the first times I actually saw him was...
Dude, just having the guys so far that have spoken about him and so highly, like, what else could you want in life?
Yeah.
What else could you want in life? Your peers admiring you to such an extent.
yeah.
In the team photo and being proud that I was actually bigger than somebody.
One of the first times I actually saw him was his first ever game against men. Leeds Rhinos reserve team versus St Helens. And St Helens had a giant playing for them, Wayne MacDonald, who actually played for Leeds Rhinos as well. But Wayne would be 6'7" and probably about 18.5 stone. Rob hit him just right, picked him up and dropped him. And I thought, well, he's got a chance.
Rob was there with big rugby shirts on, tiniest guy there, but I just think he ain't going to make it because he was that small.
You knew he was very, very talented. I just couldn't see him making a career of such a brutal, tough sport in rugby league, and thankfully he made me eat my words.
Despite his size, Rob made his Leeds Rhinos debut in April of 2001 against Hull FC. He was ready to make his mark on Super League.
Burrow's got the possession.
We need to send this over to Steven from Killer McKnight, okay? There's hope for you, my brother, okay? They need to watch this video. I'm not kidding. We need to petition for it to happen. Yeah, I know it bothers him. I know you guys give him a hard time. I don't, personally. I don't see height. Everybody's the same height in my eyes.
You're being so
We should really send him this video, though. I think it would help a lot.
Yes, because it doesn't hinder him. He's still an amazing person. Height has nothing to do with it.
You guys are rude. You ruthless. Ruthless. The couple of live streams we've done, and man, you guys are relentless. So yeah, send this over to Steven and any other short king you know.
Yeah.
See, he was ready to make his mark on Super League.
Burrow has got the possession. Burrow still. Burrow!
He's so fast.
This kid is all talent. 18 years of age.
We'd been on the other end of it in training. It was only a matter of time before he was going to transfer that into games.
Something quite remarkable. Sibbett couldn't do anything about it.
And Darryl Powell smile. Done well.
As a player, he'd do anything that you asked him to do. His skill set was fantastic, and the thing that you can't coach, he had in abundance, which is pure speed. You could see that size was never going to be an issue for him because he was such a brave human being, and he put his body on the line, but when he put his foot on the pedal, there was nobody even close to him in terms of what he could do on a rugby field.
I remember Alan Hunt just took a step in, and I followed him because I didn't want to leave that gap. I should have just left that gap. You know, Rob moved from there to there in the blink of a second, and
it's ridiculous. He's so fast.
You know, and this small player from Leeds. You know, that was all that you heard about his size. The first thing anybody spoke about was his size, but it was special.
You scored a hat trick in that particular match.
Yeah, well, it all gets forgotten about. All people talked about was Rob Burrow.
You had this tiny, weeny little kid. I got to admit, when I saw him run out for the first time, I was worried for him. And then probably 10 minutes into the game, I was worried for us.
From being a real small pocket rocket and dangerous player that we're always on the radar to do bigger and better things.
Awful to play against.
A pocket rocket. That's not nice. I'm pretty sure that's a sexual toy. A nickname for a sexual toy.
Okay. You know what he means, though.
He's a little pocket rocket of a man.
It is super trippy. It's like watching the Lord of the Rings movie where it's like the difference in Gandalf and one of the hobbits. Like literally
really
seeing him run and those
very
guys chasing him. It's such a huge contrast.
It really is.
That's insane.
As a defender, give me a 17-stone prop any day.
It was in an era where there were Danny McGrath, Rob Burrow, Richie Mallers, quite a few young kids, Matt Diskin, all these young academy kids bursting onto the scene, and then you've got this little 5'5", big nose, streaky head, little kid coming all of a sudden to play first team at Leeds Rhinos. When he was training and watching his ability in training, it was mesmerising at times.
Rob was Super League Young Player of the Year that season. He kicked on from there and established himself as a key part of the team, bidding to end 32 years without a championship.
That's awesome.
He'd not long been on the scene, but he was electrifying. But I also understood that he needed to develop and learn more about the game as well. But knew he'd be a fantastic weapon as much as anything.
I think certainly Rob's...
It's so crazy because I've always been told that the guys with the longer legs, they're better at running. They're faster at running. They're, this guy, he doesn't care. All these guys around him have leg length twice as him.
Mm-hmm.
They're just slower. And he's like, you're only faster if I don't move my feet like this.
I feel like your stature and your height and your weight have something to do with it as well, because it's less that you're carrying down the field. So if you have that stamina and you can keep going and you're training properly, you could I could see it.
Dude, his legs have to move 3 times as fast to be faster than the taller guys, and they are.
Yeah.
He's literally moving them 4 times as fast.
Yeah.
Fantastic weapon as much as anything.
I think certainly Rob's earliest years were pretty influential, and I think a lot of that is because he was so different to what people were used to defending. Redefined this rugby league paradigm of what players should look like and how half-back should play.
He was one of the hearts of the team. I just think...
I'm sorry, they're making fun of his height, and we're just taking the piss in this video, but
players
did not know Megamind was going to be delivering some facts to us today, all right?
Half-back should play.
He was one of the hearts of the team. I just think he was one of the leaders. He'd take the ball in without even asking him, and he'd tackle anyone.
The long wait is over. Leeds are the champions.
win the first championship for 32 years for the club was really special, and Rob was a massive part of that year. We had so many young, hungry players. We'd all experienced really lots of highs with the academy. We'd all played together. We all understood each other's strengths and I suppose weaknesses as well.
There was some disbelief that we were actually there and managed to do it. But having said that, Tony Smith, Darryl Powell before him instilled a belief in the young players that we were good enough to go and do it. And that first one, it just lit a spark in all our bellies.
Here is senior, now Marcus Pye! Dumps it down! Lead score, brilliant Leeds Rhinos try!
Rob then became a world champion in 2005, scoring against the Canterbury Bulldogs at Ellen Road. More silverware eluded Leeds until 2007, when this improving side really kicked into life.
Drop goal from Burrow! Drop goal from Burrow! He Rob Burrow deservedly winning the Man of the Match award here. The 2008 Super League champions. Leeds Rhinos! Leeds Rhinos, 2 in a row! Burrow, drop goal! For the third year in a row, they have won a grand final night at Old Trafford.
They had a unique group, there's a real stability amongst the group and a thirst to be successful. Having achieved some success and brought it back to the club and they got a taste for it. And you know, we had some terrific battles, especially against St Helens, came out on top in a lot of major matches.
That was my last year as Rhinos coach, and we just won the grand final in 2007. And that was kind of when Rob wasn't just electric and dangerous. He was starting to run his team with more maturity and understanding and more about how the game all pieces together and his role within that as a halfback, as a general, if you like. And he was growing into that at that stage.
He was great to play with. It was great to have in your team. You knew at times in big games if you needed something special, we had a number of players who could come up with stuff, but Rob always seemed to deliver.
I'd spent 10 years at Bradford and then you move to bitterest rivals and people, you know, are a bit standoffish from you, but Rob never was that way with me. I think that's one of Rob's great character traits, is his ability to welcome anybody within a team and treat everybody as the same. He was exceptionally good at bringing young players into the team and bringing them in and making them feel welcome, you know, having a bit of a laugh with them so they felt like they were part of the group. And I think that's a key part of having a winning team.
Absolutely. Morality is so important.
Yeah, boosting morale, especially with the newer players, and you have that like gatekeeping mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you're only hurting yourself within a team.
You cannot be a team if you have that separation. You can't do that. Everybody has to be all inclusive. You have to make people feel
happens
like
all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have a quarterback named Mark Brunell, and I don't know anything personal. It's hearsay. It's things that I've heard about him. But I heard that he wasn't a great, you know, leader, a great locker room guy. He wouldn't talk to the rest of the team. You know, he would do his training and get in his car and leave. And it's like he wouldn't hang out with anybody, wouldn't talk with anybody. And we absolutely sucked when he was our quarterback, you know. It kind of shows especially if you're in the leadership role, even if you're not the quarterback like in the NFL, like I feel like you're definitely the leader. Mm-hmm. You're the one who has the ball most of the time. You lead every single play. He might not be that, but it's like you take up that leadership role over time. It's really important for the success of the rest of your team that you have these characteristics that he has. So that's awesome.
Part of the group. And I think that's a key part of having a winning team.
A 4-time Super League champion, Rob had forged his reputation as one of the game's top halfbacks. But a new coach had made a big decision regarding Rob's career.
I asked him in my early career as head coach to change position. He'd been a regular starting halfback, you know, for a number of years. Not all the time, you know, him, Danny Maguire and Kevin Sinfield sometimes played 6 and 7. I said at the outset, it's going to vary your role. Sometimes you'll come off the bench, sometimes you'll start, sometimes you'll play 7, sometimes you'll play 9.
He wasn't happy, trust me, he wasn't happy about that.
Really wasn't happy with it. And we had a couple of meetings, a number of meetings I would say, over my time there as head coach. He says, I just want to get clarity on what you're asking me to do, and more importantly, why can't I play halfback? So I gave my reasoning and gave my rationale. We got some clarity and certainly had an understanding of it. He'd never agreed with it though, and didn't like it ever, which I don't have a problem with. And you know, I want to be really clear. When I say that, that's not me saying, and he should have done. I knew it was. I knew what I was asking him to do was such an impact on his career, his role, his time at Leeds. So he would let me know what he thought, and didn't hold back. I sometimes went back at him. Probably not my best moments in coaching sometimes, but we left the office and he gave me a nod and I gave him a nod. And I'd like to think, while we disagreed vehemently on some things, there was the respect there. He actually once said to me, well, look, if I go out and do this really well, that's only going to strengthen your argument, isn't it? And I thought, yeah, exactly. You could understand, and especially certainly the modern day player, you could understand if they wanted to be a bit petulant or a bit self-centred, a bit self-absorbed, and thought, well, I'm not doing it. But he didn't. He went out and did exactly what the team needed. Without him, I don't know if we would do what we did. Certainly the role that he played was massive.
We spoke about it, and I think
man, that speaks so much to him. It's like you're not an insubordinate person whenever you're not getting what you want, you know? It meant a lot to him that he was speaking up to his coach, which, you know, I'm sure he didn't even want to do, voice that to his coach that he was not happy and didn't want to follow what he wanted him to follow, but he did it anyways and did it to his utmost ability. So that's great.
That's incredible that you could do that. Because especially like being an adult and not like learning that. Because I don't want to do something I don't want to do. And I get grumpy about it.
Right
but
now, dude, if they don't want to do something, they will sabotage it and make sure that it's not done right.
But if you could look at somebody and be like, I don't agree with what you're saying, but it could have the thing that you're saying that it could have. Like your argument could be strengthened,
it's
or
like,
you could actually
I don't
be
agree with
right
you're saying,
in this
but
moment.
you're the leader.
Yeah.
And I have to trust your leadership and your vision. I'm
incredible.
in this role, you're in that role, and I have to trust you. So yeah.
I don't know if we would do what we did. Certainly the role that he played was massive.
We spoke about it, and I think I felt a little bit guilty because obviously I was playing 7 and Kev was playing 6, but we were all really good friends. It never got into an issue.
I think it's tough for any player, you know, when sort of your role changes, and I suppose the game changed a little bit, the dynamics of our team changed a little bit, and it meant at times that people had to perform roles that they perhaps didn't want to do.
I think credit to both of them. They just got on with it and did the best that they could for the team.
It's an interesting one, you know. I feel a bit privileged actually, because I'm not sure how many people saw that side of Rob. In a weird, I suppose, selfish kind of way, looking at it from my point of view.
Burrow's going in for the Rhinos! Burrow's away!
A magnificent playoff performance from Rob steered Leeds back to the grand final in 2011.
An absolutely fantastic Leeds Rhinos try!
It proved to be a career-defining night.
I remember trying to organise a play. I know Robert, he'd just come on and I was trying to organise a play to get me the ball and he just took off.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I wanted the ball from him and I'm demanding this ball. Rob, give me the ball, get us the ball out here. And he gets the ball and he takes off himself and I'm like, Rob, give me it, ball here. And it's just like, wow, wow.
No way, he's completely clear too. Shoo!
Tried to forget everything I can. It's one of those, it's just over 9 years ago and I've never really spoke about it, so for me this is a bit like therapy. I got caught in possibly from a fullback's point of view, one of the worst positions you can get caught in terms of Rob ducks under a tackle, he was directly in front of me. Him being as quick as he was and being able to change direction without losing speed made it such a difficult task. And it was almost on the night as if I blinked and he was past me.
It's like
running back and you're like...
That was such a great slow motion shot with the guy failing the tackle, giving commentary.
From below, like he's literally trying to go lower and he still dodges him.
No.
Difficult task, and it was almost on the night as if I'd blinked and he was past me.
You're running back and you're like, oh no, please tackle him, someone tackle him. He was so light on his feet and he's got that.
They're still up there by the time they react.
So
it's so crazy.
Gone.
I think it'll stand the test of time. It'll always be looked upon as such a great moment. What Rob is able to do, he's ducking, he's weaving, he's diving, he's making some outstanding centre-line defenders.
The other guy got taken out by the field goal post.
Just the momentum of freaking...
Oh, man. What a play.
Jeez.
What a play.
And he's diving, he's making some outstanding centre-line defenders look ordinary.
You're just so elusive, so...
It's like, dude, just act hurt. Act hurt. Just stay down. And, like, don't face the embarrassment. Like, I don't know. It's a play. It's not, like, full-on embarrassment. Like that guy said, it's therapeutic what he's feeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Let's hear from the guy who got creamed by the pole now.
Making some outstanding centre-line defenders look ordinary.
You're just so elusive, so nippy, so fast.
individual, magical brilliance. Epitomised Rob as an individual player.
I remember Rob just running and then running and then running and then keep going, and all of a sudden he scored. It was just incredible. It's mind-blowing.
Stepp's probably one of the best fullbacks in the game of Paul Wellens, and got a mesmerising try underneath the post.
You know, I think I was taking photos at the back because I was that tired. Like, what's it called? Beep beep, you know. Roadrunner, yeah. I think it was like that.
You just needed something special from somebody, and Rob Burrow came up with it. And that's probably the best try there's ever been in a major final, the best individual try.
I had quite a good understanding. I knew when he was going to run. I could see it in his eyes, but I missed the beat a little bit, and I tried to catch him and he were off, and I had no chance because obviously he was so quick. But you know, I was the first there to congratulate him, and I think there's a bit where I sort of slow him down and sort of hug him and get dead close, and that's one of the, you know, the best moments for me. Just the best try ever in a grand final.
If that's a version of sticking two fingers up to me, I don't mind it. To go out and do that, you just don't get the ball in your hands like that. Luckily, you know, and you don't have the intention. Rob would often say, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. It just happens. I think he's being a bit clever there. But he thought, well, give me the ball because I need to go do something, and that's what good players do.
So there is some context of us, I can feel, of us not knowing the game very well with the positions and everything with him. Yeah. But I can kind of piece it together a little bit. You know what I mean?
You're better
at
that
least
than
I
am.
think I'm piecing it together. It's like he got moved out of that position, but in this play right here, he kind of took that position back.
Yeah.
Am I getting that right? You know what I mean? He went into that position. He was like, nah, I'm going to be the running back again right now.
Yeah.
But
because I need to go do something, and that's what good players do.
Yeah, you saw an opportunity and took it. It's so funny because you see the people that are on his team that are trying to catch up with him, but still stay behind because you have to throw the ball behind you, right? But like still, when they get the
he was
ball,
running slow.
they
but
get
he's
the
running
ball
fast.
and their faces are like, you know, when you're trying to get that like last bit, like I can do this, and you just push all of it out. All the people that he's thrown the ball to that we've seen in the plays, they all have that face like they're trying to keep up with him. Like he makes running look so easy. He's so fast, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this guy's legs are a lot longer, and it just looked slow-mo
as soon as he gets the ball, he's
as
like,
soon as he got the
I
ball.
get it there.
Because we've been watching Rob run
Trying
this
to
whole
keep
time.
up with him. Look at
But he's running so fast.
Yo.
Oh, what a great.
Look at it. I can do it. I can do it.
How do you been going into that?
He knew.
Incredible.
You just don't do that. You just don't step up to the players.
I think probably every person in the stadium would have voted for Rob Burrow for Harry Sunderland that night.
To do that in a grand final is special. There's not many players that can produce them magical moments in the heat of the battle in a grand final.
All 37 judges voted Rob the man of the match that night. Another World Club Challenge followed before Leeds won the title again in 2012. But some of the best moments of Rob's career were still to come.
Wow. That's crazy to play in such a brutal sport like this for that many years at a high level.
Yep. You didn't have to pause it. It was pausing for you.
Is it paused?
It's still playing.
He wasn't the
man.
biggest player we've ever
Long
seen in
pause.
Super League, but talk about heart and determination. And what a great example to any youngster out there that it's not a matter of your size, it's the hard work that you put in the training ground. And there's none better to show that ability and the wonderful skill of Rob Burrow.
As I can testify, Rob Burrow was as sharp off the pitch as he was on it, as we've been finding out from his former teammates.
A little pissed.
Kylie was his number one.
He used to bully me all the time. I threw in some puncher clippings into my car, you know, the heater, so the vents that come out. And he turned on full blast. When I got in the car, I didn't know, I didn't know what was happening. Turned it on and just went poof all over the car.
I remember Kylie getting Rob in a sleeper hold at one time.
He was squeezing pretty hard, and Rob was just like, is he being serious here? Is he being serious here?
He had 3 fights in his career, so he always says that he's 3-0. If you've ever seen them fights, they're not really fights because he couldn't fight. The Milwaukee one is just a comedy gold in itself. It's like Scooby and Scrappy-Doo.
When you show people that clip, it kind of encapsulates what Rob's about. He's not going to take a backward step for anybody.
Everything the kid says is either a quote or a one-liner or something to do with what he's.
Bro, hold up, though. He said he couldn't fight.
The Milwaukee one is just a comedy gold.
Dude, if he landed that shot right there, y'all would be saying something different. I get it's a Scooby Scrappy Doo moment where he's just holding his hand on his head.
Yeah.
But little different. I mean, dude, it almost landed. It almost landed.
Fights because he couldn't fight. The Milwaukee one is just a comedy gold in
it
itself.
almost
It's like Scooby and Scrappy Doo.
When you show people that clip, it kind of encapsulates what Rob's about. He's not going to take a backward step for anybody.
Everything the kid says is either a quote or a one-liner or something to do with what he's seen on TV.
I must have heard about 1 million Ricky Gervais quotes.
We kicked off a special relationship because we realised that we both were mad Office fans. Mad Ricky Gervais fans, Dexter's fans. That started a dialect, a specific dialect for me and Rob for what would be the rest of our careers together.
Oh, that's great. We are currently reacting to The Office, and we just finished up the episode Motivation yesterday, and the IT guy is sitting there giving Gareth a hard time, and they're just like out nerding each other.
Those cats were
And I thought it was
as
so
lightning.
funny, dude. I thought it was so funny. I mean, my sons do that to each other a little bit. So I showed it to them. They watched it. They not only did not laugh, they said they didn't even understand what they were saying.
They didn't
I was
get
like,
it.
wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand a word. You guys must have like translators built into your ears now. I'm like, huh? Oh no, I failed you.
Right.
Calvin Klein's, and I'd gone for a massage, getting ready prepared for a game, and I could see as I walked back into the changing rooms, I could see a brown stain in my white Calvin Klein's on show, and I was like, I'm sure that wasn't there before I left. Ran as quick as I could to try and hide them. All the boys are laughing, hysterical on the floor. He'd actually put a Jaffa cake in.
You'd always hear Billie Jean.
But he didn't know. He went to the bathroom and wiped his ass just to check. He's like, am I leaking? What is going on here? Oh no, let me hide these first. Then I'm going to do a dipstick check or something. Gross, dude. That's so funny.
Hysterical on the floor. He'd actually put a Jaffa cake in.
You'd always hear Billie Jean is not my lover, and that was it. He'd loved Michael Jackson, and no one shared Michael Jackson anywhere that you know Rob was there.
When Brian McClellan was our coach, he came up with a move where the ball gets held in the back of the scrum by the loose forward. On the shout, the scrum breaks, the loose forward picks up and darts straight through the middle. Now, it's probably worked once in 1,000 times, and we're going to put Rob at the base of the scrum because he was that quick. So we practiced this a couple of times in training. I can remember Blue Brian McClellan says, right, we need a name for it, what should we call it? And Rob said NHS. Because that's where I'm going to end up if this carries on.
I kind of got my own back on Rob one day for a few of the boys. You always do promotions as part of playing rugby, and the promotions come down from the community department. What they do, they give you a blue sheet. I got hold of this template from the community office. Rob come down, and he said to me, he says, I can't believe it. I said, well, what's up, mate? And he goes, it's this promotion. And I says, right, all right, you know we do some stupid ones at the club. What is it? I've got to go Harrogate to the Garden Festival to sit on the panel of a gnome judging contest. So I'm going, all right, Rob, well, I guess you'll probably enjoy that. There may be a reason why you picked you there, pal.
I think Rob, because he was that
I
cheeky
didn't
fella.
even think, but that's true. That is very true, and great promotion. We're gonna have.
It's an honor. Gnomes are amazing.
We're gonna have Rob Burrow down here judging the gnome contest today, guys. It's the biggest one you've ever put on.
Who everybody expected to get the abuse from just got away with it. Could have held as much abuse as he wanted.
By 2014, Rob and Leeds' golden generation had 6 Super League titles to their names, but one trophy still eluded them.
Kind of given up hope on the Challenge Cup, if I'm honest with you. We lost to Wigan Warrington over that period there, and it was like, it's just not going to happen.
It's Rob's hometown, Cass. He had a hatred for Cass as well. Every time we played him, he wanted to beat Cass. He wanted to stuff Cass.
He'd always make a joke and have a laugh when we always played Cass. He was like, you know, this is my hometown, you know, we want to go and beat Cass and do a good job on him.
And part of that, because he lived there, he lived in the town, and he wanted to be able to walk around without getting any grief.
My belief is why we won it is because Brian Mack came up with a game plan, a simple one, where everyone committed to it, everyone knew what it was, and Rob played a great role in that. Part of that game plan was we were going to consistently kick one side of the field, and Rob consistently did that. And every player bought into the game plan that day. Nobody put themselves before the side.
Challenge Cup in the bag, the full set of medals complete, but something even more special followed in 2015.
That's beautiful.
This is crazy. What a historic career.
Perfect end to a season of all seasons.
changed some things dramatically for that 2015, certainly in pre-season, and got all the old guys to do more than they ever had done. It took a bit of convincing, and it took a lot of creaking bodies and aching backs.
Rob played in a number of different positions for us that year, but again was immense. Got on with his job, did it to the best of his ability and scared people to death, which is what he was great at, so we couldn't have asked for a better ending.
There's probably 6 or 7 main players, and if you take any one of those out, then I think we lose a couple of trophy wins within that, and I think Rob's the same as well, and I think Rob contributed to all those wins throughout the past 14 or 15 years, and he was an integral, crucial part of that dynasty of the golden generation.
The treble winning team was a group of players that just, without compromise, they just went for every game, went for every bit of trophy that they wanted to. Rob was like, he's that bit of special, that bit of game changer, that bit of crucial ability and flair that we needed in that year.
You start to learn.
Like, that was a live play, because the guy right here in the white and red shorts looked like he didn't even have time to react to anything.
Trophy that we wanted to. Rob was like, he's that bit of special, that
just
bit
so
of game
quick,
changer, that
just
bit
like,
of
oh, the
crucial
ball, it's a plate.
Well, shit.
and flair that we needed in that year.
You start to learn the traits of the players that you're playing with. Rob was someone who I really did follow about on the pitch. There could be nothing out on the pitch there, and out at 70 metres can just do a dash, and there was plenty of times where...
One sec.
Getting a
Had a little alarm go off.
Just a weather update, no big deal.
Weather update.
There could be nothing out on the pitch there, and out at 70 metres can just do a dash, and there was plenty of times where he's done a 70-metre run. You know, I've just supported him, and he's put away for me one underneath the sticks.
2015 team, I believe, if we had stayed together for the next 2 years, 16 and 17, we were taking every trophy out.
Rob put me through the gaps and put me in for a few tries. You just knew that he was always going to come running across the pitch and got us in plenty of space, but he was buzzing around everywhere and causing problems for every team.
We had a team full of big game players, and myself and Carl Ablett and some of those more industrious players, Brett Delaney's, just worked really hard to make sure we were still in game for that moment when we needed Rob Burrow to come up with something special.
And there was a lot of that, of everybody's experience coming together, everybody's stories really coming together to create that ultimate year.
The golden generation began to break up. Leeds battled relegation in 2016 and Rob announced his retirement in 2017. His last game for Leeds, along with his partner in crime Danny Maguire, was another grand final, this time against his hometown club Castleford Tigers.
When iconic players, legendary players, come to end of a journey, we make a big fuss about them, but it would never come from them.
Leading into the playoff system and Magsy and Rob's final games, that was absolutely the thing of the players. You know, they all wanted to send those two guys out on a win for sure.
That year was huge because the year before wasn't great. Set us up really for a huge season in 17, and obviously they announced that it was going to be their last, so that had that extra incentive as well for all the boys to put some wrongs right. They were key in terms of their leadership, just pushing us that extra little bit more. We were just so glad that we sent them off on a fantastic end to their time at Leeds.
Burrow slides the kick underneath the leg, another knock on. Oh, could be a try from Maguire. Rob Burrow and Danny Maguire fittingly will take the trophy. The Rhinos
Wow,
the
man.
Super League champions again.
Really, really lucky guy. I've loved every minute of my career, and tonight's a fairy tale ending for me.
I'd sort of had this plan in my head.
Are you
You know,
serious?
I
I'm
love
a
fairy
big
tale
thinker.
endings.
And you never get them. You never get them, man.
For real,
It's so
there's been
hard to get
so
them
many.
in sports.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so unpredictable.
It's so often that your heroes, you know, go out in the last few years, especially in combat sports, which is what I watch mostly. It's heartbreaking. You very rarely see your heroes go out the way that they want to, or the way that you would want them to. And so when this happens, especially to somebody as legendary as him, that it is fairy tale.
Yeah.
And fairy tales very rarely happen in our world. So it was great.
And I thought, how good would it be for myself and Rob to be able to lift the trophy together? And I don't mention anything to Rob because obviously we were heavy underdogs that day. Obviously the game went brilliant, we ended up winning, and I can see Rob's face now when I asked him to lift the trophy together. That was the first thing I thought of when the final whistle was to find Rob and tell him we're going to lift this trophy together, and I nearly dropped it. I think I tried to hold it one-handed and it kept falling back towards me, and to be able to finish our careers from 11 years old and finish lifting the trophy there together was my best moment without a doubt, and I hope Rob sort of treasures that as well.
With 13 major medals in his cabinet.
That is beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's like they're only holding Rob's side. Rob's holding both hands on his side. He's like, I'll help you hold your side. Who's holding your side? It's like nobody thinks about that in the moment, man. That's great. Funny little thing that you wouldn't even see as a spectator, really. You wouldn't think about.
But getting the backstory on it,
But you hear his mindset in that moment. It's funny that he even had the wherewithal to remember that, you know, in such a big moment.
Years from 11 years old and finished lifting the trophy there together was my best moment without a doubt, and I hope Rob sort of treasures that as well.
With 13 major medals in his cabinet, Rob Burrow retired as an icon of the sport. But in December 2019, Rob was diagnosed with Motor Neurone Disease, a degenerative condition that affects the function of the nerves in the brain and the spinal cord. There is no cure, but he's tackled it head on, like an 18-stone prop forward on the pitch.
How we handled it, how we planned to attack, what was going to be the next couple of years for him, the journey he was going to go on, was massively inspiring.
You look at the way Rob's battling things, and I think it just puts a lot of things into perspective for you. I mean, he really is fighting a battle, he really is inspirational, and I just think the way he's taking it on, there's been no self-pity, there's been just total dignity. It's been dignified the way him and his family have reacted to it.
Rugby League supporters from near and far gather to offer their encouragement and friendship to one of sport's genuine gentlemen.
And Rob Burrow enters the field, hero of Headingley. What a man!
They've come here to see your dad, and you know your dad's a very special man, don't you?
Yes.
It was like that moment at the end of Titanic when all the family just comes rushing back and we're all experiencing what was a really special period in our lives, and seeing those names lined up in gold and come back in that team spirit and camaraderie for Rob was the most special moment of my career.
I just had an operation on my nose and I was a bit like, and I rang the surgeon and I said, can I play? And he's like, well, if you get a knock on it, you're going to have another operation. And it was the worst pain I'd ever had in my life. And I was like, and then I thought about it and I thought, I'm playing. There's no chance, nothing's going to stop me not playing in this game.
He's been as inspiring a person as I've seen anywhere.
Probably the toughest man who's played rugby league. For taking to war with me, heart of gold. I think there should be a statue outside the club for him.
He was a player that was admired by all rugby league fans.
They basically put a 6-foot-6 person in a 5'3" body.
The person that cared and the person that you could always have a laugh with.
Even though we've had his battles on the field, I wish him nothing but the best.
Rob will always be a good friend of mine, and from the same town and stuff like that, I hold it quite dearly.
Truly is humbling to see him go through this fight, and he knows we're all there behind him.
One of the greats of the Super League era.
He's meant that much to so many people.
What a tough man, what an incredibly brave guy that he is.
Because he's my half-back partner, I had that duty of care to him to make sure that he was looked after.
Probably spent more time with Rob throughout my life than I have with probably my wife. A really good teammate and friend.
I can sit here hand on heart and say this isn't just because of Rob's illness that we're saying some of these things. This is just belief.
I love him. Without Rob's enthusiasm, without his courage, without his selflessness, his sense of humour, I'm not so sure that we'd have had all the ingredients and the minerals that we would have needed to be as successful as we were.
I'm proud to be his teammate. I'm privileged to be his friend. Rob Burrow is a rugby league giant.
Damn it, man. I was trying not to shed any tears, you know, the way that he's handled it. Gosh, damn it.
I hope one day we find a cure and live in a world free of MND. By the time that you watch this, I will no longer be here. I am just a lad from Yorkshire who got to live out his dream of playing rugby league. As the father of 3 young children, I would never want any family to have to go through what my family and children have since my diagnosis. I hope I have left a mark on the disease. I hope it shows to live in the moment. I hope you find inspiration from the whole story. My final message to you is whatever your personal battle, be brave and face it. Every single day is precious. Don't waste a moment. In a world full of adversity, we must still dare to dream. Rob Burrow, over and out.
Holy crap. That was heavy. Need a second.
It is incredible, incredible, incredible. Every time that I'm introduced to another person from history that has impacted so many people, not only in their profession, but everybody like that hears their story. Even if you're not a fan of rugby, you're still inspired by him and his story. And he was just overall a wonderful person, a wonderful human being. Like in the sport, if you're talking about it, he was fast. He was overall good. Like he could come up with plays in his head. He was very observant of everything that was going on around him. He was a positive influence on everybody around him. He was funny. He was genuine. All these traits that you have built into one tiny person. And I don't mean that to be offensive at all. Like he was just so much packed into like not what his stature was showing on the outside. And it's just like just an incredible story. I'm getting chills all up and down my leg. Like I would never wish for that to happen to anyone, but it's so inspirational when it does happen. And he's so like still inspirational afterwards. He doesn't give up. He's still talking about his kids and knows that he has to leave a legacy. And that's what he's doing. He's leaving a legacy. And that was incredible, especially when that video first started and everybody was saying all those one words about him. And it's like everything that you can describe, like the most all around good person, like everything that you can
almost
describe.
See his spark in all of them, you know? You could see his light.
Yeah. And you could still see
shine
it
through in every single person that they interviewed, you know, everybody that was his friend or a teammate, you could like see a part of him in them, you know, which is a testament to him. Man, I wasn't ready for that last little goodbye.
Right?
Goodness. It just kind of caught me off guard. So that one was 1 year ago, and the video that we reacted to was from 4 years ago. Yeah, I didn't expect that. That other video just popped up in the recommended, and I saw it, and so yeah, that was tough. What a great documentary. I'm really thankful to, like, stuff like this just makes me really thankful we started this channel and you guys recommend stuff like this, because legends like that, you know,
everybody needs to know.
Need to be heard.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I'm going to be a mess the rest of the day.
That is incredible. What an incredible story. And those are the people that change history for the better. And every time anybody who's not introduced to him or doesn't know who he is, they hear his story. Like that was one video and I absolutely fell in love with him, and getting the context behind everything, that made it even more heartbreaking to hear the end of that. And it's so incredible. He was still inspirational even after the diagnosis. He still wanted to put a video out there to keep people going. And wow.
There's a lot of lovely comments on the original video that are getting me emotional again. So,
what a player, what a warrior, what an inspiration. That is beautiful. A giant of a man.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go cry off camera.
My goodness.
Thanks for watching with us. Sorry, this is hard to wrap up right now. What a legend. And yeah, I'm glad we watched this. Thanks for watching with us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.